Gauteng Provincial Commissioner Lieutenant General Elias Mawela and senior SAPS management are leading a multidisciplinary Operation O Kae Molao in Benoni today. Ahmed Kajee is following those developments for us, and he joins us live now. Ahmed, good morning to you. Tell us exactly what's happening where you are.
Good morning, Kuli. We are currently at an abandoned mine out here in Benoni, in the east rand of Gauteng. We just moved about an hour ago from a major roadblock which had taken place this morning as well. And in fact, police and law enforcement officials had actually discovered various substances, various explosives as well, coming through from this abandoned mine as well. I'll take you through some of the visuals of where we are currently with some of the structures being destroyed by law enforcement. But Kuli, I think the best thing to actually do right now is to bring in General Elias Mawela. General, thanks very much for your time today. We obviously see some of the equipment over here being relatively perhaps high quality. Can you maybe just take us through that and what this exactly means for the type of equipment these Zamazamas are working with?
Okay, thank you very much for the opportunity once more. As you can see here, these are their tools of trade, and mostly it's explosives. And these explosives, when you look at their badges, it's written that they were manufactured in Zambia. So clearly they were imported here, legally or illegally so. And if it was legally imported, obviously it would have found its way to the people who are dealing with these commercial explosives like the mine houses, which are having licenses. But to find their way into this particular space, it clearly tells us one thing, that this business of illegal mining is big, and it's been funded, and there is money going, money flow in this operation. But as you can see here, we have 23 of those illegal miners here, and I'm told that some of our teams, as you can see, that this is a huge village, they've also arrested some, so the number, it will obviously go up. And in the truck there, you have also seen that it's a market here. There is alcohol which is being sold here for those people who are operating here. You see the refrigerators are being mounted on the ground so that police, they must not find it easy to can remove them and confiscate them. And there is some ice cubes in there. You can see that this is a serious business which is going on in this particular space. But our teams, they've also removed the pendukas. Pendukas, these are the drums made of the gas bottles to can refine the gold-bearing materials. And there are also the gas bottles hidden under the ground here. I think one of my operator will take you through to show you some of those gas bottles which are being utilized here. But we are happy with what we have achieved thus far. And we hope and believe that if we disrupt this kind of an operation, demolish their operational area, take their tools of trade, arrest them, and intelligence community and DPCI concentrate on the level 3 to 5. Those who are receiving what is being produced here, those who are managing this operation, in the long run will be able to can completely mitigate illegal mining which is happening here. Another thing which I appreciate is the mine houses. They are now coming into party. We have seen when we entered here, they are beginning to can fence off their operational area. So they are putting physical security measures around their operational area, which is pleasing because previously we were just on our own. We come operate today, tomorrow they continue. Operate today, tomorrow they continue. But now that everybody is on board and we are assisting each other, definitely sure, I have no doubt in my mind that we'll mitigate this threat.
Right, General Mawela, thanks very much for your time. Kuli, we're just going to take you through some of the visuals, and this is similar to what we had seen in Kagiso about 2 or 3 weeks ago during the unrest around the illegal mining as well. We had seen law enforcement actually destroying some of the structures that is set up by the Zamazamas and various other people who would be in this particular area. The market over there probably was half this size that we had seen back in Kagiso a few weeks back. Just to the left-hand side, a few meters back, is where those 20 illegal miners were detained and are being processed by the law enforcement officials. Xoli, I'm also just going to take you back a few moments as well, that immigration officials are also here. And from the time the O Kae Molao operation actually started earlier this morning on the just off Main Reef Road, about 5 kilometers away from where we are, immigration officials were there as well during that particular roadblock. And what we had seen then was not just roadblocks around looking for licenses and whether people were driving under the influence of illegal substances, but also looking at whether people were documented. And at the time, there were a few people who were arrested and taken by by immigration officials as well. And Xoli, we'll just see law enforcement finding these illegal tankers and some of the equipment used by illegal miners in this particular area when it does take place. Let's just take a listen to what these officials happen to be doing as they carry out the operations, and maybe we'll just see if we can get through to General Mawela in a few moments' time to also just see what he has to say, and he can maybe just take us through some of the operations. Xoli.
Ahmed, as you speak and as you beam these visuals to us, it's first of all very hard to believe that some illegal miners continue with the activity that the very people that also conduct this kind of illegal action in the country have been arrested for. So that's just very brave on the one hand. But also, importantly, I see the police doing what they are doing, which could be very dangerous, given that there are explosives there. I see that they were just I guess, looking and trying to find whatever it is that is hidden on the ground there. What happens if an explosive goes off? This is quite concerning, just as we are watching it, because you are bringing these visuals to us live, and so anything could be expected here. Is there no way that they can do this in a more cautious manner, if I were to put it like that?
Yes, Xoli, and that's perhaps something we can actually bring through with law enforcement to actually find out exactly the nature of these particular operations and how exactly the searching goes about. You will see Elias, General Mawela taking through his teams with the operation. And General, maybe it would just be a good time to actually bring into the conversation maybe the topic around safety. Yeah. Are you maybe perhaps concerned around the safety for your officers if one of these explosives happens to go off?
Yes, we are definitive, but we do have the explosive experts. You see the guy with the black overall. He is an explosive expert. He's the one who's handling all those things. But this, as you can see, it's a gas bottle, which is been hidden here underground. And the reason for putting it here is to make it difficult for the police officers to can remove it, because they know these things are very expensive and their operations are anchored on this, and they rely on these things to can continue with their operations.
So if you take us through what's going to be happening in a few moments' time, will this particular gas canister be taken out right now? And what exactly normally goes into perhaps these intelligence operations as well to ensure that you will make these arrests on a day like this?
Yeah, you see, the officers, they will remove this and it will be taken into our SAPS storerooms for safekeeping. But before we take them in there, obviously our explosive experts, they will go through that and check whether it is safe for us to can remove these things. But the intelligence community in this province, they've been tasked to can work tirelessly to ensure that with these operations we now begin to focus on the level 3 to level 5. That is the value chain of the organized crime. So that we begin to deal with those who are managing this illegal operation. Because these runners, they can be replaced at any given time. We've arrested a lot of them here. You'll find that a lot of them, they are being brought back into they are being brought into the country to can continue with this kind of an operation. But if we begin to deal with those who are receiving and those who are managing this operation, surely in the long run we are going to mitigate it completely. As you can see now, we also find the cell phone there. Where did you find it? Yeah. Okay, I thought that is one of those. And what I was talking about, the business which is going here, you can see that they are also running their own pharmacy here. In case there is a headache, then you are being assisted. So these guys, they are quite serious with what they are doing.
General Mawela, thanks very much for your time. And there you have it, Koli. While law enforcement carries out their operations over here, we are expecting it to continue throughout the rest of the morning before we get those quarterly crime stats being announced just after midday today. Koli.
Very well equipped indeed that the illegal miners are. That's Ahmed Kajee following Operation O Kae Molao, led by the General of the police here in Gauteng, General Elias Mawela. A very busy man, and later today, as you have heard, he is going to be releasing some statistics about just how safe are we as a province. General Elias Mawela up and about in Benoni.